and to work as a clerk, clerical officer.
All right.
With P&T accounts,
Right.
secretariat Ibadan. I was there for 2 years. Along the line, I did my advanced level, and by God's grace, I passed. And after that moved into the University of Lagos, 1976, and I left University of Lagos 1979. I graduated 1979. I did my youth service in Bauchi.
Wow.
So I concluded that in 1980, normally 1 year program. Then came back to the south. That was during Chibola against administration in Oyo. It was automatic employment for all graduates.
Right.
All you need to do is go to TESCOM in Ibadan with your copy of your certificate and your NYC certificate. You write your name down. October 1, you start. After October 1, you become a class teacher.
All right.
I was a teacher in a Baptist grammar school, Idishe Ibadan.
All right.
I was there 1980 to 81. 81 June 22nd, I got another job with Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria.
All right.
And in that Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, I work in different departments. I started with lending.
Right.
That is a mortgage lending department as a mortgage lending officer. Then I was moved to administration, transfer out of Lagos to Akure, and later I came for a master's program, University of Ibadan,
All right.
Masters in Banking and Finance. That was study leave with pay.
Wow.
When I concluded that, they didn't even allow me to resume. They sent me to Calabar.
Wow.
And in Calabar, I was there just for 1 year. They took me back to Lagos, placed me in a department they just created. They call it organizational method.
All right.
Who I am. Like audit.
Okay.
We move into our different locations to know whether branches are following the standards set by management of the bank. So I was there for 12 years. I was in Federal Mortgage Bank. When the new national housing policy came into effect, that is around 1989, you know, the new national housing policy was guided by two decrees.
All right.
Decree 89, Decree 53 of 1989, and Decree 3 of 1992. One dealing with requirement for setting up mortgage institutions. Then the other one dealt with what we call National Housing Fund, which requires Nigerians to make contributions to that fund. So I left that place and I came 1995, October 1. I joined Osun State Polytechnic.
Okay.
And I was there 1995 to 1999 when government set up Living Spring Savings and Loans.
All right.
They were operating around Olumkoro, so I was the pioneering general manager. So I started that place, and after starting that place, I went back in 2003. I went back to Ere, and I continued with my academic assignments. I was made HOD. I was HOD before I left.
Right.
When I came back, I was made HOD. Then later, when our dean became art director,
All right.
that Chief Timothy Bitoye of blessed memory,
All right.
I was made the dean. So I was dean for 7 years, and thereafter, I went to Kenya for a doctor of philosophy. No, let me chip it in. Before I left, I registered for another master's program,
All right.
the University of Ibadan, masters in economics. So I graduated as well. Then I left for Kenya for a Doctor of Philosophy. And when I came back, I continued with my academic assignment. And by the time they wanted to, the term of the rector then expired, I happened to be the most senior academic staff.
All right.
And I was considered, with the help of God and man. There was a man also that assisted.
All right.
I won't like to mention the name. Yeah. And so I became rector. So, and I was there before I retired in 2022. In summary, that's my life.
All right, a fantastic summary from you there, and I decided to allow you to, take it from the scratch, and for viewers at home to know the kind of guest that I'm bringing on board today. So you can imagine, it's not even only into academics. He has always been in the banking sector for a while. And one thing that really interests me, but before we go to that thing that really interests me, when you were, telling us your history, how you started to where you are at the moment, people of your age, when they come to this program, they talk about they were in the farm for only God knows how many years before they started school and all this, and their daddy will always say, oh yeah, let's go to farm and let's do this, and you didn't say anything related to that. Is it that you were born with a silver spoon?
No, thank you for drawing my attention to that. I had my own piece of experience along that line. My late father was a farmer.
All right.
My mother was a petty trader. The first, how many years of my life, maybe 12, 13,
All right.
I was in a village. I attended that village primary school.
All right.
So I'm used to farming, hoeing, harvesting cocoa crops and so on. I'm used to it.
All right.
So I had that experience. And it's always easy today when you begin to tell your children that you have done this, you have done that. You have maybe look for rodents, the dog holes to kill rodents. You have used catapult to kill squirrel. All those experiences I had.
And they will hardly believe.
They hardly believe. They hardly believe. They
hardly believe. One thing that you just said just struck me when I used to tell my kids that I've been into farming for a very long time too. You know what one of my kids did? He just looked at my hand and said, let me have your hand. And he was touching it. I said, are you sure you went to farm at all? This is your soft hand. So it's always like that. All right, let's talk about this. When you were telling us history about yourself, you said in 1980, if I'm wrong, you could take me back, that during that time, all you needed was just bring your certificate, drop it, and you have employment.
Yeah, you have employment. That was all graduates then were employed. NC, those who have bachelors, and I think probably even those who have a higher diploma. It was automatic employment for. In Oyo State then, the number of schools was increased from about 100 to 360. The number of secondary schools. So they needed hands. And so Chibola said, all of you come into the classroom. And he also did one thing. If you are employed in the public service, they give you level step 2. If you are sent to the classroom, they give you level step 3. There was a step higher than those who are in offices when you are teaching. It was an incentive then.
But what has changed? What has changed? Because our kids, even some of us, when we were growing, we could not have that kind of opportunity. That the moment you're through with your university or polytechnic, or even the NC that you just talked about, that you have a direct job. What really changed? What really changed that perspective?
Nigeria, a lot of things have changed in Nigeria. if you look at the times we were in the university, compare with when maybe people like you were in the university, the food that we used to eat per day, when I entered university in 1976, we used to spend 7 naira 50 kobo. 7 naira 50 kobo, 750. That is 20 kobo.
I was wondering.
Sorry, not 7 naira. Kobo,
that's 7 naira. It's a lot of money.
20 kobo for breakfast, 25 kobo for lunch, 25 kobo for dinner, supper. That's 70 kobo thereabout, 70 or 75 kobo. Then this thing was reduced. You know about Obasanjo's regime. It was reduced to 50 kobo per day. 10 kobo for breakfast, 20 kobo for lunch, and 20 kobo for dinner. Nice food. Quantity good enough. Lunch and dinner, 3 pieces of meat. Good meat, so not just ordinary meat. Even those of us who grew up in villages, when we eat our food, we used to be what? Filled
to the brim.
Not only that, in the hostel where we were staying, I was in Erika when I entered in 1976. They will come and collect your dresses for washing, for laundry, twice in a week. Monday and I think by Wednesday, they will have iron those things and bring them to you. So twice in a week, you supply clothes for laundry. So many opportunities there. But I think our problem was that at a point in time, we began to mismanage our economy, our income, the oil income in particular. There was a time they sent some medical students out of the University of Lagos. I attended the University of Lagos. And those guys went straight to Northern Barracks when General Obasanjo was there. And they issued statement, the NUC, National Universities Commission, instructed universities that except a student fail, it should not be sent out of the university system. So but gradually we mismanage our system. There was a time a minister said, the problem of Nigeria is not that of money, but how to manage it. But thank God we mismanage it. That's where we are today.
All right, let me talk about this before we close it for the day. It's all about this dichotomy when it comes to university graduates and polytechnic graduates. You've been a rector of a polytechnic. How do you feel when you see your graduates being, will I use that word, relegated when it comes to employment issues?
Thank you. This is very interesting because what I've defended, what I've managed over the years. Let me tell you one basic fact. I'm a product of the university system. University of Lagos, University of Ibadan, Jomo Kenyatta University, Kenya, one of the best universities in Kenya. HND is not inferior to BSc. It's not inferior in terms of what? Quality of teaching. But most of us who are teaching, I had 2 masters when I was teaching there. We used to go through our bachelor's materials and use it to teach them. So let me establish ab initio that the university degree is not superior to higher national diploma. It's not. So I used to tell them, each time I teach in the class, look, don't see yourself as inferior.
But the system is seeing them as inferior.
That is the tragedy of our system. The tragedy of our system is that we lay too much emphasis on certificates. I work in P&T in Ibadan after the O level. Our exchange the telephone exchange office was in Attorney Hearing. There was an Igbo man who had primary 6. He says, let's say standard 6, I think. And he was in charge of the exchange. Anytime the exchange breaks down, they go and look for this man. As soon as he enters that long, big room of too many wires, millions of wires, the man will fix it. And there was a white man, I think a Briton, who was Attorney Hearing. And this white man recommended that man for a promotion, and they said he cannot be promoted. The man resigned. The Oyibo man resigned. If your engineers with bachelors and masters cannot fix problem in this exchange, and there is a man with standard 6, they will fix it within 10 minutes. If you cannot promote him, I go back to my country. You see, we lay too much emphasis on certificate, not on performance. Great countries of the world today, Japan, China, they are not laying too much emphasis on certificate. They lay too much emphasis on technical things.
What you can do.
What you can do with your finger, with your hands. During my tenure, when we were for a national exhibition in Abuja, and my students went with a panding machine.
All right.
Panding machine. We demonstrated that panding machine from Ire, and hot pounded yam came out, and I had them to go and bring soup. You know what? I was moving around with that pounded yam, moving around. When I retired, they gave me one of those panding machines. We should emphasize technical education rather than theoretical.
Well, I wish we can go on and on and talk about all those things. Maybe I'll still have to bring you back. There are so many things that we need to talk about, especially when it comes to education. I know you know the nitty-gritty of all those things. Probably we'll bring you back on Sands of Time. Anytime. But that's how far we can go on today's edition of Sands of Time. We've been having conversation with Dr. Woye Olaniran, who's the former rector of the Polytechnic Ire. And just like you've listened to him, he has been in different sectors, especially in this country. And these are some of the people that we should encourage. And finally, before I let you go, sir, just your advice to the youth.
Well, the youth should not be discouraged. Things are on the downturn now in terms of capacity to get employment and so on and so forth. It should not be discouraged. Because I believe that things will go up, move up again. The policies of the current government, I'm not speaking for them.
All right.
Is that what would you know? I'm an economist. Economic policies are no magic wand. It's not when you put it in place that you begin to have results. No, it takes some time. You will discover that the policies of this government is taking shape. Prices of fuels are going down. It's going down. I was told that even food in the market, they are dropping. So with time, things will be better and better. So the youth should not be what? Discouraged.
Discouraged. That's the word. The youth should not be discouraged and just be encouraged by fathers like these that have gone through the thick and thin of this world and also in Nigeria. That's how far we can go on Sands of Time today. My name is David Ojo. Join me same time next week when I bring you another interesting edition. And special thanks to my producer who has been doing a fantastic job to make sure that this program comes live every Tuesday morning like this. All right, that's how far we go. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Sound of Time, an inspirational program that captures insightful contributions of the guest personality within professional fields and politics to motivate the youth. Sound of Time also peeps into footprints of captains of industries who have made their marks in their chosen profession. Join David Ojo every Tuesday morning between 10 a.m. and 10:30 a.m. on Osbc TV channel 32. Start times on 113 and Free TV. You can also join in our various social media platforms like